All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alan Harris. I'm the emergency manager here in Seminole County, talking to you from the Emergency Operations Center in the county. Today is the 13th March at 12:15. I'm sorry that we had some technical difficulties. We were we actually tried two computers before we got this one to work. So we are glad, though, that we were able to get on with you and provide some general information. We wanted to give you some updated information from over the last few days. Of course, Seminole County remains in a local state of emergency. That's been the case for 2 weeks in preparation for the potential of a positive test of COVID-19. And we, of course, have that test now. So that test came back yesterday, a presumptive positive test here in Seminole County. The lab that was used in that particular circumstance was the Advent Health Hospital in Altamont Springs. We have been informed, so I just hung up with a state conference call with other emergency managers across the state, as well as the director of emergency management for the state of Florida and the Florida Department of Health in Tallahassee. We have been informed that the president this afternoon around 3 o'clock will be possibly issuing a declaration of national emergency. So what does that mean? That means federal resources then would be available for us, and so we're very happy to hear that. We're happy to hear that those communities that have COVID-19 cases and are doing a lot to respond to that could potentially get some help from the federal government, and that's excellent. Yesterday afternoon, on March the 12th, we did receive information that again we had one presumptive positive case of COVID-19 in the community. The individual, a 68-year-old male, is doing very well at home. We spoke with him a few times last night, made sure that he had groceries and things like that, because of course he's quarantined in his house. So we wanted to make sure that he was safe in there. Him and his wife are doing relatively well, and we're going to continue to communicate with them to make sure that they're okay. And if we get any needs from that particular home, we will of course let them know as quick, or get them the services they need as quickly as possible. We have a few other homes of individuals that are in self-isolation and self-quarantine. That's because they returned home from a trip or something like that. So those individuals, of course, we're helping too. We don't want them to go out to the grocery store or to the pharmacy to pick up their pharmaceuticals or whatever the case may be. So we are working with those individuals. So we have a few folks like that are in our situational awareness, and we are continue to communicate with them every day. This morning we activated a citizens hotline for COVID-19. That was part of our plan. We had developed an incident action plan for response for COVID-19. So that call center was open this morning. We've had quite a few phone calls coming in there, people asking general questions, where can I get tested, things like that. What are the signs and symptoms, and we have a great team over there. It's going to be open Monday through Friday right now from 8 to 5. We'll see how the calls are during that time period. And if the calls escalate, we may extend the hours. If they stay about the same as they are right now, we may just keep it Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. That isn't, of course, the only place to call. So there is a 24/7 hotline in Tallahassee. So if the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. here in Seminole County doesn't work for you, you can go to our website, prepareseminole.org, and prepareseminole.org, the telephone number for the one in Tallahassee, which is 24/7, is available to you. Our telephone number, if you want to call, 407-665-0000. Again, 407-665-0000. Elections, of course, are still ongoing. The early registration, early voting is taking place right now. It's from 10 to 6. That'll, of course, take place through to March the 14th, tomorrow. Those are all safe. We've been working with Chris Anderson, Supervisor of Elections here in Seminole County. All the polling locations have sanitizing wipes, sanitizers, things like that. The poll workers are making sure everything's really clean for early voting, and then of course for voting next week, we're going to make sure that takes place as well. Seminole County has not officially limited any large congregations of individuals. We are, of course, advising anyone with medical conditions, just follow the CDC guidance. So if you have underlying medical conditions, you may want to reconsider doing some certain activities. So you may, instead of, you have an underlying medical condition, instead of going to a large congregation, if you can watch a video of it, that may be something that you want to do. We certainly are looking at the possibility of cancellation of any those types of events, and that'll take place as the number of confirmed cases start to increase. We'll continue to look at that, and we'll make advisories for that as necessary. Those cancellations also could include some of our community locations, so it could include a library, and it could include parks, things like that. So while we may keep the park open, the facility may be closed down. So the offices may be closed down, but you would still be able to walk the trails and do all the exciting things that we're known as Florida's natural choice. We certainly want you to go out and enjoy our trails, which we have an amazing trail system. The wilderness areas out in Geneva and Chuliota, those would remain open. It'd just be the community centers there that would be closed. Again, vulnerable populations, seniors, those with underlying medical conditions, should reevaluate how they are congregating, so just consider that. Consider some social distancing. We did receive some closures, so I want to let you know about those right now. The city of Altamont is shutting down recreational programs and events for 2 weeks. The parks remain open, just like we have our parks open, but the recreational programs and the recreational facilities are closed down. The city of Lake Mary also has closed their senior center, and they're going to be suspending that starting on Monday, and they will let us know when that opens up. City of Winter Springs, the City of Winter Springs senior center activities and programs are suspended. That includes the AARP tax preparation aid program and the therapy pool. So just know that. The Seminole County Public Schools, their spring break begins today through March the 22nd. The school board will resume classes after spring break. You can monitor www.scps.us for updates. Again, www.scps.us for updates. School board has been doing an incredible job with cleaning services already prior to spring break, and they'll continue those services. That includes wiping down the buses, a service of classrooms multiple times a day, so they're just making sure that's very clean. And so far, we've heard that Seminole State will also be reopened after spring break. They're closed for spring break next week. University of Central Florida, of course, will be open after spring break, but they will not be holding in-person classes. They'll be doing online classes instead. So that'll take place for 2 weeks post spring break. Their spring break is next week. Real quick on the numbers, currently 42 Florida residents have COVID-19, have tested positive for COVID-19. 5 that were out of the state of Florida have been repatriated here to Florida. Those 5 individuals also positive cases, but they're back here in Florida. And then we have 3 non-Florida residents, so people that were traveling here. We are one of the #1 travel destinations in the country. So we had 3 individuals that were traveling here in the state of Florida, felt ill, went to the lab, tested positive. So those individuals are here, but non-Florida residents, but they are. We hold it, thank God, 2 deaths only in the state of Florida. Those both were, of course, extremely sad to hear, but it has not grown in the last week or so, which is good information. I'm going to grab another paper here. Let's see. Just want to make sure. We're pushing a message today. If you feel sick and you think that you want to go to a lab or you want to go to your primary physician or you want to get tested, please make sure that you call ahead. We want to protect our medical staff. The heroes in this are our emergency medical services personnel and the nurses, the people that you see the second that you walk in to an ER or a lab. Please protect those individuals. We are going to need those people. We don't want those people isolated or quarantined at their house because you didn't call ahead, you came in, and now they have been in contact with an individual that potentially could have COVID-19, and that of course takes them out of work for a couple weeks. We don't want that to take place. So please call ahead, that way they can wear the appropriate personal protective equipment to take care of you and take care of the case, and then treat the next patient that comes in the door. So we want to make sure that we are protecting those individuals. The Attorney General's office has activated a price gouging hotline. So if you see anything that is related to price gouging, we encourage you to call them. It is online at the state. We're going to be putting that on our Prepare Seminole website, but just for information purposes for those that are listening today, it's 1-866-9-NO-SCAM. Again, 1-866-9-NO-SCAM. Some very interesting closures we've been told over the last day or so, and that is, of course, Walt Disney World and Universal Studios both closing their doors at the end of the week for the remainder of the month. And that, of course, is very consistent with what's going on across the country to help immediately stop this virus from growing, stop it in its tracks, and hopefully we can stop talking about COVID-19. If we can eliminate it here in the United States, that would be a wonderful thing, and that's what all these businesses are doing. A couple cruise industries have closed operations for up to 60 days. That's the Princess Cruise Line and the Viking Cruise Line. So if you were planning cruises on either of those cruise ships, you may want to contact them to see about your trip. We have, of course, already activated our incident action plan because of our one positive case here in Seminole County. That includes the additional enhanced cleaning services. So those cleaning services are currently taking place at every public location in Seminole County. That includes libraries, public access locations, community services lobbies, animal services lobbies, those places that you would visit, the courthouse, places like that. So enhanced cleaning services at all of those to make sure that our folks are safe and that our guests that are coming into the building are safe. Seminole County Public Schools also put out cancellation of travel, so go to their website. If one of your children were planning a field trip, you may want to just check in with that to see what if the field trip is going to continue, and if their field trip happens to be one of those that are canceled. Since the last time we talked, we also have an enhanced travel advisory, and that's for all foreign nationals that are coming in from Europe. I'm not sure that I mentioned that last time. I may have, but that does not include United Kingdom and Ireland, but just about every other country in Europe. Foreign nationals are limited to coming into the United States. That does not include United States citizens. So if you have a U.S. passport, of course, you can continue, of course, to return to the United States. So if you have a friend or a family member that's overseas, feel free to let them know that they are safe and they're going to get back into the country. There is, of course, a travel advisory also for level 3 countries. That includes China, Italy, Mongolia, South Korea. You can get a list of those on the CDC website. You can go to this prepareseminole.org and it'll link you over right to that. And then they're asking to self-isolate for 14 days, and then individuals going to level 2 countries or cruises, the ones that are continuing to go on the cruises, they're asking you to self-limit interaction for 14 days after returning. So that would be Hong Kong, Japan, places like that. We are continuing to do outreach activities, so we've stopped the in-person outreach activities. Yesterday was the last one, but we are doing a lot more video ones and then direct. So we pushed out over 400 public information pieces to homebound individuals with our partners at Meals on Wheels. We want to thank them for that. They did a great service. We've been doing some direct to our special needs and our well-being check individuals that have registered with us, so we're excited about trying to get information to those individuals as well. I'm going to see if there's any questions here. School system, again, school system very safe. They've been doing a lot of work on cleaning. So at this point, they're continuing operations after the schools. I know that was confusing because the Board of Governors for the university system, which is different than the Department of Education, they advised the universities to go ahead and close for 14 days, close as far as in-person classes. And the reason, of course, they did that is college students go all over the place and all over the world, and they wanted to protect those individuals for the school system and for colleges like Seminole State College. They are governed by the Board of Education, so those have both elected currently to continue operations, and that's the plan right now. So that could change. If that changes, again, go to their websites, and they'll have that updated information as they need. So if they see that's going to be a need, they will go ahead and change it. The question about pets, absolutely. It's still safe to walk the animals. It's still safe to get out in the public, do your normal daily activities. The only thing that we ask is that, practice some personal protection is through hygiene. Wash your hands 20 seconds, sing happy birthday twice. Don't place your hands on your face. You want to prevent that from happening. Any unwashed hands. If you are using any surfaces that multiple people touch, grocery carts, gym equipment, things like that, wipe those off before you use them. That's real important. Let's see. Other questions? Oviedo. I have a question about Oviedo, and I have that. Oviedo is no change in service right now. Longwood, no change in service. Sanford, no change in service. And Castleberry, no change in service right now. I know Longwood and Oviedo, they're meeting with their senior leadership team to discuss that. So there may be some changes with that. So just go to their website and see if there's any updates. But right now, their programs are continuing. We have a senior leader meeting with our Parks and Leisure Services this afternoon, so we're going to make some decisions there about our parks and our libraries. Right now they are open, but we'll make some decisions about that, and of course it'll be publicized here on Facebook, Twitter, and multiple social media, as well as our website, prepareseminole.org. There's a question about Seminole State. Seminole State College is scheduled to reopen after spring break with in-person classes, so continue to plan to go to college there. We haven't seen any changes on that. And so are they, I'm hearing something different.
This is from Dr. Lorenz.
I can't read the whole thing. Hang on, I'm sorry.
The 16th, they're going to virtual classes.
Okay, so on we just got an update. So March the 16th, Seminole State College will go to virtual classes. So update for you right here immediately as we're talking. So March the 16th, Seminole State College will, very similar to University of Central Florida, go to virtual classes, not in-person classes. So you heard it here first if you're watching Facebook Live this morning. We'll get some information out, again, put it on Prepare Seminole, and I'm sure that Seminole State College already has it up on their website. How can we help our seniors? It's a great question. We need to protect our seniors by doing those personal hygiene things, by washing our hands, by wiping down things, by if we're sick, staying away from large locations, churches, schools, concerts, if there are any left, spring break, sporting events, things like that. We want you, if you're sick, please stay at home. Please don't go to work. Please don't go to any kind of event where a large gathering of people would be. Winter Springs, Winter Springs is currently okay. No changes in service and no changes in service in Oviedo. All schools, public schools, are slated to reopen again after spring break. That may change. I know their leadership team continues to look at it and update information as it comes in. So I'm going to end with this, and that is I just got a reminder, right? That frequent hand washing, 20 seconds. Hand sanitizers, while they're nice, frequent hand washing is better. So if you can wash your hands for 20 seconds, that's better. Hand sanitizer is okay, but do that. Don't go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff. You don't need to buy the bottled water and all that stuff. This is not a hurricane. If you want to buy bottled water because hurricane season's coming up, great. But our water systems are working perfectly. If you need water, just go to the sink and get the water from the kitchen sink, just like you always do. No reason to go out and get a whole bunch of bottled water for this. Toilet paper, we've seen some hoarding of toilet paper and things like that. Get what you need, but try not to, there's no reason to hoard all the toilet paper. There's plenty of toilet paper in the system. And if you go to a place where the shelves are empty, those are coming back. Hand sanitizers, we have heard a big supply shortage on that one. So clean surfaces with other things. The sprays and the wipes are probably not coming back until May or June. So you're probably not going to find those. And if you do, you're lucky. Play the lottery that day maybe. But the cleaning, just normal cleaning supplies. Again, avoid touching eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. If you're sick, stay away from people, social distancing. If you're sick, also don't touch animals and things like that, your pets. They'll go into the other room with another family member. We don't want to share this virus or any virus really for that matter. Again, fist bumps instead of handshakes. So those are the things that we would say for public information. Again, I apologize for us having some technical difficulties at the very beginning of this. Sorry it was a little bit late, but I want to thank you all for listening to me today. We will have another Facebook Live early next week. We're going to continue these because I think it's really important to get information out as many different ways as we can. We're going to continue to do that. It's not only this, we push press releases, we do press conferences, we do things on social media, we have it on our website. We do direct mail to those individuals that are homebound and special needs. So we're trying to get every type of way that we can get the information out. Good, consistent information, not information to scare, information so that you can make the right decisions. So if you have any questions, our Citizens Hotline is open. It'll be open until 5 today. And then next week, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, 407-665-0000. Again, 407-665-0000. Hope you have a happy, safe, and healthy weekend.